makes her bid for a little piece of history.
Hello and welcome to the run of the race. Brittany Taylor with you alongside Mark Warwood to review everything that happened on a big day of racing on Saturday afternoon. Mark, such a big day. 4 features on Champion Fillies Day, and it wasn't just the Champion Fillies that was the highlight.
No, it certainly wasn't. There's some great performances, even in the non-graded races. Undisclosed early on, First Up Specialist ran a really good figure we'll talk about shortly. And Flirtini issued the top seed, do you think, from the local horses for the Winterbottom?
Well, we'll look at her figure very shortly, but from the numbers that she's produced, she certainly seems that way, because the number that she's produced is actually superior to the last 2 Winterbottom figures. So on what she did on the weekend, she has to be there, but of course the East Coast Raiders arrived during the week, and I think they'll be a force to be reckoned with.
Certainly will be. I mean, we are a little bit disappointed, it has to be said, with the Eastern States participation in the Railway Stakes, but the Winterbottom, I think we're going to have at least 7 Eastern States horses, maybe some more. It
is certainly going to be a high-class sprint on Winterbottom Stakes Day. Let's take a look from the very beginning of the meeting on Saturday. The first race at nice old odds, British Bessie takes it out.
Trying to get up on the inside of Persistence Time, who just wanted to shift off the fence a little. Bonsignor third, Go Crying is next on the outside of Vintage Stock, being saved up for a run. British Bessie peeling to the outside, and so plays the game, searching for runs, scintillating. Sentimental Gift, Royal Strata further back in the field as heads turn for home. Persistence Time still off the rail, out by 3/4. Winner for Keeps coming. Here's British Bessie, plays the game at any old odds, is running on down the outside as well. British Bessie nearing the 100 though, surges clear. British Bessie pulling away, impressive win. Sentimental Gift has got to second on the outside in the shadows of the...
British Bessie second up at a staying trip, gets the job done. Thought she was very good first up, no trial over 1,800 metres, and she's taken that improvement into the race on Saturday.
Yeah, I've been following her for a little while now, Sharon Miller's horse. I actually think she's got a fair bit of ability, and she's certainly probably going to be better than this grade. I wasn't at all surprised she won on Saturday, but the way the race was won, I was even more surprised, because it was slowly run. She was only midfield throughout it. I think she's clearly the follow horse here, and I'm just kicking myself I didn't have her on top. I know you did in the yard. Forgetting Vintage Stock, I think the jury was out, and it's now returned its verdict. I'm simply not backing this horse ever again. And I'll forgive Sentimental Gift, because the way this race was run, it was run very, very slowly, and Sentimental Gift came home better than anybody else, just couldn't quite catch the winner.
Yeah, certainly ran pretty slowly up front. More credit to British Bessie. Another great performance on the weekend. You mentioned it at the top of the program, but Undisclosed. Let's have a look at this finish.
This is accelerated and now takes it up at the 600 mark from Dia Della Razza, immediately coming off the fence. The Niconians a length and a half off those in third spot. Down on the inside, Abu Dhabi. Undisclosed behind them. Rebel Knight further back, being followed then by Night Voyage and Damn Ready. Wanna Be Good, and last is Dutch Spy. Heads and turn, 300 left to travel. More races in front from Dia Della Razza. Undisclosed with its run down the outside is starting to finish on strongly from the Niconian. Undisclosed braces up now, going to the 100. Boots away from the Niconian. Rebel Knight further back, runs on with Night Voyage, but it's a great first up win by Undisclosed.
What a run home. Undisclosed was almost 10 lengths better than average on the run home, recording an overall figure of -8. And for a horse that was first up, no trial, the punters certainly didn't miss her.
Certainly didn't miss her. And if you go through the form book, that is her speciality. First up, certainly maybe with or without a trial. The only reason she doesn't make the file, because that's a phenomenal effort, -0.8 overall, is just that query second up. A horse that does make the file is Wanna Be Good. You mentioned before that Undisclosed came home -9.9 over the last 600. Well, Wanna Be Good did -11.4 and didn't have the clearest run as well. Clearly the follow horse. Forgetting Abu Dhabi here, finished last but 1, but I will forgive the horse that came last, Damn Ready. They were wide for the majority of the race by lateral lameness as well. Plenty of excuses.
Yeah, it certainly was. That run home from Wanna Be Good, 33.12 the final 600. Enormous run home there. The next race was the first of the winners for William Pike. Spoiler alert, he ended up riding 5 winners on the program. It's no mean feat, but it has become common practice for Pikey. This was the first of them, Royal Command.
Side being shaded by Royal Command with a couple behind it, Jatumi and also Zippity Doodah. 550 left to go. They're coming off the riverside of the course. Mankind brings them to the home corner. Laurentinio second. No runs. Samambo at the moment as they set sail for the judge. Going up 3 wide is Avidus. And then Megazone behind those, pushing into the open spaces now from Superior Smile at the 250, and it's Avidus who reaches the lead. Megazone about to get around his heels. Samambo getting a run over towards the inside with Mankind with 100 left to go, and Superior Smile joins in. Samambo, Avidus, Megazone, and here comes Royal Command. Superior Smile together. There's a great finish. Royal Command.
Another good run home from a galloper on Saturday. It does become a bit of a theme. Last 600, almost 6 lengths better than average.
Yeah, Royal Command, I think, is a horse going places. It wasn't a big surprise that the horse won on Saturday. The first of Pikey's 5 and first of 3 in a row. Clearly the follow horse at this race can go through the grades, I think. Forgetting Jatumi, I think Jatumi's been in the fight a few times. No knock on the horse. It was Belmont Horse of the Year a couple of seasons ago, but he's had a lot of problems, and I don't think he's going to get back to that level. And I will forgive your stables horse in Laurentinio here. They didn't go particularly hard in this race, and he over-raced in the early and the middle stages, and we all know these performances since joining your yard. He's had 5 runs now, 3 of them have been absolutely outstanding.
Yeah, he's actually going for a quick break as well, just as done his job this preparation, so we'll just have a little freshen up and be back and ready to follow. The next race, as you mentioned, Pike, it was the start of a race-to-race-to-race treble, but this one, he really deserves a gold star. Not to be missed. Have a look at him weaving through traffic.
Side covering extra ground is Speedy Miss. They're being followed by Notamoka, and then came Not to be Missed, being bustled along here by Pike. He's just trying to get the grey onto the bridle, coming around the corner, not travelling that well nearing the bend though. Divine Quest has gone up in front of it, and so's Friars Fantasia. Into the straight though, Lacevinsky led the way, booted clear by 3 lengths at the top of the straight from Position of Power, and then came on the inside Dicoletto. He's gone back to the rails with Not to be Missed, and running on Divine Quest as well still with 100 left to go. Lacevinsky's in front. Not to be Missed is flying along the rails. Not to be Missed driving at it. Got it, I thought, on the line.
Not to be missed, certainly an eye-catching run home, but I must say, any time that Dicoletto is in a race, I can't help but have my eyes drawn to that galloper's extravagant action. I know we talk about it every time, but every time I just can't help but laugh.
Yeah, he's the equine equivalent of me, I'm afraid, in terms of our running styles. He's the forgive horse in the race for mine. He finished 3rd. He was on speed. He wasn't too far away, but not quite up to this level. Forgetting Gillespie, absolute head case, this horse. If William Pike can't get it home, and he's ridden this horse in recent times as well, then no one ever will. And you've got to follow Not to be Missed here. I must admit, I copped a fair bit of flack on social media for not tipping this horse on the box seat. I think a few people said that I had a blindfold on. Well, I don't think it was the blindfold. I think I had cataracts on. I thought he was still going to get beat in the straight, but kept finding those gaps, and that last 200 was significantly faster than anything else.
A great irony in missing a horse called Not to be Missed. You won't make that mistake again.
No, he's there.
Yeah, of course he is. All right, let's take a look at the next race, and this one, Mississippi Delta, was a $2.90 out to $6. Unwanted with punters. Should never doubt the Cerise and Wine.
We're on the outside. Maginica makes its move and quickly dashes up to head off Heartstarter, who got caught flat-footed when they were just jog-trotting. Maginica had gone to the front. Heartstarter come off the fence now and being bustled hard. Tomasa 3rd. Neurological 4th. Platoon's busy back on the inside trying to get clear. And they're being followed by Flow. Pike looking for the shortest way home with Mississippi Delta. Maginica's the leader from Heartstarter. Now Tomasa. Platoon's a length and a half away. Neurological, and look at Mississippi Delta getting around their heels. She's the one all right. Mississippi Delta first up since this year's Perth Cup, and she's going to come away for the Peters family and win the Peters.
Mississippi Delta takes out the RJ Peters in what was a bit of a stroke of genius by the man himself, Bob Peters, a horse that was going to be aimed up at the Ascot Gold Cup. He had a runner in it, so elected to put her in this race, and a really good training performance coming off 5 barrier trials.
Yeah, and you know, Forceful was a very short price to win the Ascot Gold Cup, so it made sense to split them up and take Mississippi Delta here. I agreed with the market drift. I thought that she was unders when she opened up in the markets, but she got the job done. I don't think it was a vintage edition of the RJ Peters Stakes, a bit like last year. It was won by Freo. She makes the file. She's the follow horse out of it. She'll go towards the Kingston Town Classic. I'm sure she's now ballot exempt for that race. Forgetting Heartstarter, not because he ran particularly badly, but he's very high up in the weights for a horse that's not really performed to that level for quite some time. And I thought the flow was okay on Saturday. Finished 4th. He was ridden off speed, which is what they told the stewards they would do. And I thought that If you're going to forgive a horse out the race, maybe Flow.
And I think Martin Allen's been very open in saying that the horse probably hasn't acclimatised great since coming from the east. The cope still just hasn't been quite there, so definitely improvement in that galloper. All right, the next race, this was the Ascot Gold Cup, as you mentioned. Forceful went down. Taxagano, what a brave performance this was.
Double-digit Taxagano's going up now in advance of Forceful, who's being heeled up on the rails in a bunching field. Prize Catch, Nawadaroo in the middle being ridden along. No Saying It coming around them, 3 and 4 deep, trailed then by Decoy Noxious. Friar Fox held up, Dark Musket relegated to last into the home straight, and over on the outside Missile Launch had raced straight to the lead here. Forceful starts its run. Taxagano battling double-digit back towards the inside. Missile Launch led them though with 150 to go. Now Pike goes to work. Forceful cuts it down. Coming again, Taxagano. Taxagano on the outside. May have got the...
Taxagano records a figure of -6.5 to win the Ascot Gold Cup, but what the figures don't tell you is just how the horse did it in the run. He was so tough.
Yeah, he was magnificent. I reckon he's probably the toughest galloper in WA at the moment. You know, he's coming from that same yard as Fred Kersley, where we had the great Northerly about 20 years ago. He's every bit as tough as Northerly. He's not as talented, of course, but he's a great horse to own. He doesn't make the file simply because I think that might have taken a little bit out of him on Saturday. The horse that makes the file is Forceful. I was pretty keen on him going into the race. He didn't run particularly badly, -6.4. He's been running those figures a hell of a lot, and he just ran into a horse that refused to be beaten in Taxagano. Forgetting Dark Musket, this was a horse that was a follow very early on in the campaign. Thought it was showing a fair bit of promise, but the last few runs have been absolutely terrible. And I'm going to forgive Spiritual Warrior here. Off a lead up, led this race. They went very fast early on. I think you can forgive that horse. And he's a bit like Taxagano, really game.
Yeah, we like these tough gallopers. You mentioned Northerly just then. I'm not sure that any horse can be as tough as the Fighting Tiger, but I went back and watched the Railway Stakes of 2000 during the week as we look forward to this weekend. And Danny Miller takes on the horse in front at the 800 and he just keeps on going. It was just one of those great Railway Stakes. It's been great to reminisce on some of the great additions as we look forward to this weekend. But before we do that, we'll take a quick break, and on the other side, we'll have a look at the remainder of the meeting from Saturday.
Buy a 3-day TABtouch Masters General Admission Pass for just $50 and go in the draw to win a Nissan 370Z sports car powered by Curran. The 2019 TABtouch Masters. Get your tickets from perthracing.com.au. T's and C's apply.
Welcome back to the Run of the Race, where it's time to have a look at another one of the features on the day, the Champion Filly Stakes. And she's an impressive filly, this one. Let's have a look at Tuscan Queen.
Quarters of a length away, My Fair Valentine, the grey specialism. More Fizz behind those. Special Choice ridden along. Miss Alfie's back there with Is a Bombshell. Also back there in the field is the favourite Tuscan Queen, and Petticoat Junction canvassed. KC Stone Motherless last as they come around the home corner. At the top of the home straight though, Native Chimes kicked away by 2 to Rocky Path and Santa Brianna Aragain, followed further back by My Fair Valentine. And now Tuscan Queen starts to wind up with her run. She's finishing brilliantly with 100 left to go. Here's Tuscan Queen, KC further back, Santa Brianna down near the rail. It's all over though. Tuscan Queen's a mile too good.
Tuscan Queen winning the Champion Fillies in effortless fashion. The figure though, only +1.
Yeah, slowly run race. If you look at the class figure, it was 3 lengths slower than the class for a Group 3 of this nature. I will follow her out of the race, but I'm not declaring her like a few people are for the Kingston Town Classic. I don't think there's much to choose between her and KC, and I just think the run of the race on Saturday suited Tuscan Queen. KC was coming pretty hard at the end. If you look at the sectionals, there wasn't a great deal between them in the last 100 or 200 metres. I think they'll go forward and have probably the same amount of chance. Forgetting Rocky Path, finished last but 1 here. This is a horse that looked like it might be promising something at Belmont Park, but clearly outclassed on Saturday. And I will forgive Special Choice. Blundered at the start, was held up in the straights as well, came back having cast a plate, and had abrasions when the vet had a look at the horse after the race. Came with a different form line, ran okay. Don't put a pen through Special Choice.
No, certainly not. But as you mentioned, Tuscan Queen, the next time we will see her is in the Kingston Town Classic, and the race has such a great record for 3-year-olds. So looking forward to seeing her there. Another really great pointer towards the TABtouch Masters was the next race. This one, the Colonel Reeve Stakes. taken out by Flirtini, a good pointer towards the Winterbottom.
At the 500, they're flying along behind the mare Misty Metal, led by 2 lengths, coming to the corner from Battle Hero. On the fence, Old Barracky beats, and then came the Celt. But this mare is off and gone, coming around the home corner. Misty Metal, she'd sailed away. 4 in front, the Celt leads the chase. Further back, River Dance. Then Snow Lord, Flirtini. Back behind those, and Stage Man trying to thread his way through. Misty Metal's run could be short-lived. The Celt, and look at Flirtini going 3 to their 1. Flirtini went to the Celt. Boy, oh boy, there's a great victory. Flirtini.
What a finish by Flirtini. She got home over 9 lengths better than average for her final 600, recording an overall figure of -9. That figure surpasses both of last year and the year before's Winterbottom figures.
And even the really good Winterbottoms, you know, you're looking at maybe -11, -12, and she looks capable of that. We all thought that she was a 1200 metre horse, and she proved it on Saturday. For me, she's the top seed of the local horses. There's some good horses coming, particularly in the Royal Blue of Godolphin, but Flirtini, if she draws a decent gate, is going to be very, very difficult to beat, you would think. She's the followed. The Forgetty's Battle Hero, he drew a good gate on Saturday and was disappointed, only finished 9th. And Stage Man, he's been up for a very, very long time. He's the Forgive horse for mine. Didn't get any clear daylight in the straight. It's probably the end of Stage Man. Maybe he'll go towards the Winterbottom. I don't think he can win that, but he's doing a wonderful job for Connections.
Yeah, certainly a great campaign, and yeah, I think the plan is to head towards the Winterbottom. Had that luckless run, so hopefully he can bounce back for their sake. All right, let's have a look at the last race here, and it was won by Sublime Image.
Silks, Master Pearl, Sublime Image are back in the field with Ebony Magi, and Arctic Stream had found itself back last as they approached the 500, nearing the corner, and Proxy will bring them for the judge by a length. Sophie's Song quickly popped off the rails now and was put right there into the race, coming around the corner, trailed by Inflation. It's under pressure though. Son of Bacchus is there. Montagna going up on the inside, searching for a run. Sophie's Song hits the lead, 200 to go. Sophie's Song, a length and a half Inflation, and now getting clear, Sublime Image. Pike is queuing up for another. Sublime Image coming at Sophie's Song, he'll get it. Races away, Sublime Image, drew clear, and Pike round.
Sublime Image brings up William Pike's 5th winner on the day with the fastest split time. A nice performance.
Yeah, I think a lot of people were looking to bet around her. I know I was. So she was half those odds when markets opened. If we'd known she was going to be $6 on the day, I think we'd have all had her on top. So that's punting for you. It's all about the price. She's the follow horse out of the race. The Forget horse is your horse in Lucky Raw. Just simply hasn't run well recently, and you know, long way off its best. And the Forgive horse is Ebony Margie. They went fast in this race, but Ebony Margie was out the back and was over racing in the early and the middle stages. It was held up and then in the straight until about 125 from home. I think if Ebony Margie had got a different run, would have finished a lot closer than 6th.
That's a look at the 9 races from Saturday afternoon. When we have a look at the entire meeting, who are our best performers?
We've had some pretty low ratings, it has to be said, the first couple of weeks of the Ascot Racing Carnival, but boy, the cream's ridden to the top here. Best overall rating, Flirtini, -9 and even -4 to the class, which was of course a Group 3. The best class racing, that goes to Undisclosed, -8 overall, -7 for the class. The question is going to be, can Undisclosed back it up with a penalty or in a higher grade, second up?
Well, certainly that suggests that she can do just that. -7 to the class means that she should be able to fly through the grades based on that. But as you say, she's a fresh performer, so let's see if she's going to be able to repeat that. What about our fastest closing sectionals?
Yeah, a few names here. Tuscan Queen, the fastest last 200. That just indicates how slowly they went in the filly stakes over the mile. Undisclosed, we've mentioned that horse before, absolutely exploded off the turn. And Wanna Be Good, who probably will back up this week for Lindsay Smith, 33.12, incredible last 600.
Yeah, certainly can't go much quicker than that. Very, very fast last 600 from Wanna Be Good. All right, we'll take a quick break, and on the other side, let's see how our tipsters fared from a big weekend of racing.
Better your betting experience with Tab Touch. Watch Sky Racing and race replays on the go. Get free Giddy Up premium form. Access your winnings faster with past the post payouts. And keep your winnings if there's a protest. Better your betting experience with Tab Touch. You know the score. Stay in control. Gamble responsibly.
Welcome back to the run of the race, where it is time to have a look at how our tipsters fared from the weekend. And well, it was a case of get in early and get the price of the first race in British Bessie.
Yes, British Bessie, your tip from the Mountain Yard, paid $15.60 and $3.20 the place, and that was the biggest price winner of the day. You needed your best bet on British Bessie, but you probably also needed to get Taxagano as well.
Did our weekly winner manage to find those gallopers?
Certainly did. Just the three winners: Taxagano, British Bessie with the big bet, and Flirtini later in the day as well. The winner was Russell Hinks. 1,490 points out of a maximum of 2,072.
Well done to you, Russell. Just goes to show you don't necessarily need to tip the quantity there. You just need the quality and the price there, and that's exactly what he has done with those three winners from the weekend. Does it get him into the top 8 leaderboard?
It certainly is. He's a new appearance on the leaderboard. He's fourth with just over 4,800 points. Our leader is still Noble Sky, also known as Alan Hughes. He's got a lead of just under 200 points.
Well, it's not a great lead, so it's plenty still to happen in this competition, and I think those that are hot on his heels will be working very hard this weekend, and what a weekend it is going to be. We used to call it Super Saturday. I still think this is a Super Saturday. It's Railway Stakes Day. Feature races are plenty. Let's take a look at the last 3 editions of the Placid Arc.
And to a mighty roar from the crowd, they're racing. He's got his finger on the trigger at the 400 mark. He quickly moved a length and a half. Now the sparks are flying. He makes it 2 Perth Cups. It's history at Ascot. Left to go as a party stokes up Kai Perinya. She's got a length and a half lead. Faden Williams goes for the Persuader. Where's Wally? He's trying to dig in, but Kai Perinya sprints clear from them inside the 100. She looked home in the Placid Arc, 3 in front of Where's Wally, then Stored Energy, but Kai Perinya too good. She's come back from the mile to win over 1,200 in the week. Charade, a length and a half in front by the 250 from Cognac. Ocean Jewel down the outside though. She's starting to erupt, and so's Heart of Heart coming with his run. But Ocean Jewel broke clear. She'd raced away. Heart of Heart, Aaron Boyd, Truly Belong coming with a great run. Ocean Jewel's in front. She'll cling on. Ocean Jewel beat the fast, finishing Truly. Peter, followed by Festival Miss, but Dance Music exploded at the 200. She'd shot away by 3 Fire and Rain, Shapita Pablo's Poem, and then Festival Miss. Ellen's got the whip out on the filly. She's nicely cleared the stablemate, giving chase, but much too good. And music to the ears of trainer Simon Miller.
Well, there's one thing you notice in that package, and it's the dominance of Simon Miller in the Placid Arc.
Yeah, he's won the last 3 with different jockeys as well, and he's won 5 of the last 7, and he will be represented on Saturday by Boomtastic and Nakovi, so he could well make it 4 in a row. He
very, very well could be, very well represented. Another one of the feature races on Saturday afternoon that I think a lot of people will be looking forward to, courtesy of the Godolphin Blue making an appearance, is the Carbine Club. Let's have a look at the previous 3 editions.
And to a mighty roar from the crowd, they're racing. He's got his finger on the trigger at the 400 mark. He quickly moved a length and a half. Now the sparks are flying. He makes it 2 Perth Cups. It's history at Ascot. 2 legs to stocks. Testamizzo, Chocolate Holic at the 250. Vengabus, great shot together. Showy Chloe coming down the outside. So's Chocolate Holic starting to weave its way through. It's Chocolate Holic coming at Vengabus. Bass Straight, great shot on the outside. Chocolate Holic though reaches the lead. It's Chocolate Holic. Chocolate Holic has won from Bass Straight. Mr. Utopia behind those, and Zuccaros headed the remainder. At the 250, War God, it's it, Proper Randy's Django. Here's Zuccaros winding up for Pike down the outside with 100 left to run. It's Zuccaros quickly descending upon them, reaches the lead. Pike and his busy best draws away on Zuccaros, and Zuccaros beat Django. Here comes In Love with Paris. At the 300, In Love with Paris races up for Williams. Now Lane draws the whip on Pinzu. Coming to the 150, In Love with Paris and Pinzu from hard starter behind them. Oliver's travels and Frio further back runs on. But Pinzu reaches the lead and Pinzu pulls away for Damien Lane. Beat In Love with Paris. Hard starter.
A great race, the Carbine Club, and I think this weekend we'll have plenty of intrigue.
Certainly will be, with Tally going around, Arcadia Prince, Lord Help Me Run, and we've got this interesting runner for Lindsay Smith in Kimono as well, a former Japanese galloper. It looks like a really good edition of this race.
And we know how good those Japanese horses can be. Dominated the Melbourne Spring, and they'll be hoping to take out the Carbine Club on Saturday afternoon. I told you there were a lot of features. Here we go again. This time, let's have a look at the Jungle Mist.
And to a mighty roar from the crowd, they're racing. He's got his finger on the trigger at the 400 mark. He quickly moved a length and a half. Now the sparks are flying. He makes it 2 Perth Cups. It's history at Ascot. The remainder, She Rules All, cornered first. Tackled though by Distant Memory at the 200. Jester Jingle is starting to run on now. It's Distant Memory. She Rules All, a length and a half to Jester Jingle, who can't get to them. Meteoroid's picking up in the middle. Distant Memory. Meteoroid coming, and so is Cosmic Storm. Cosmic Storm flying on the... Story. Volkov down the outside in front of Fontainebleau, and then Celebrity Dream coming from the back of the field with a great finishing run. Volkov hit the front, but here's Celebrity Dream. Pike again at his best, timed his run beautifully, and Celebrity Dream draws away to beat Volkov.
Misty Metal winning the last edition of the Jungle Mist. It just goes to show what 12 months can do, because this time this year we'll see her contest a Winterbottom.
Yeah, interesting feel for this on Saturday. Simon Miller well represented again. This has normally been a bit of a benefit for the Cerise and White, but they've only got Midnight Sky going in on Saturday, and William Pike doesn't ride it.
Okay, let's move on to the 2 big features come Saturday afternoon. The WA Guineas. It's a great, great race. Let's have a look at the last 3 editions.
And to a mighty roar from the crowd, they're racing. He's got his finger on the trigger at the 400 mark. He quickly moved a length and a half. Now the sparks are flying. He makes it 2 Perth Cups. It's history at Ascot. Saha's come off the fence. All Special's gone. Whispering Brook keeps coming, and so does Ellie Kazoom with her run. Variation threading its way through. Ellie Kazoom on the outside reached the lead, but Variation darting through. Hits the front from Ellie Kazoom. Variation doing better than the filly. Variation won the Guineas a half a length. Ellie Kazoom. It's close for third. Up down the outside, Galway's coming with its run, so's Money Maher. At the 200, Salubria's joined by Art Series, and now on the outside, Perfect Jewel. Down the outside, further out is Goulart. Money Maher can't win. Perfect Jewel, though, it's a gem ride again from Pike, with Akanar flying along the rail. But Perfect Jewel has won the Guineas from the fast finishing Akanar. Arcadia Queen about to get around the hills, with Lady Cosmology running on well as Pike goes to work. Arcadia Queen at the 150 mark. She's a length and a half in front of Lady Cosmology. Boy, she's got them done, and she's going to break the hoodoo. Comes away, she wins the champion fillies and the Guineas double in brilliant fashion. Arcadia Queen again from Lady Cosmology.
Then it's the one that we have been waiting for. It's what we wait all year for, and you can't watch any replay, I don't think, of a Group 1 without getting goosebumps. That's exactly what this package does. Let's have a look at the Railway Stakes.
And to a mighty roar from the crowd, they're racing. He's got his finger on the trigger at the 400 mark. He quickly moved a length and a half. Now the sparks are flying. He makes it 2 Perth Cups. It's history at Ascot. Good project for the moment. Then came Kawi, and further back, Perfect Reflection, Scales of Justice, and the Durban Demon has kicked him away. Scales of Justice led 3 lengths to Good Project. Perfect Reflection, but Dougie White's going to win it on Scales of Justice. It's a mighty West Aussie win. Scales of Justice, 2.5 lengths, Good Project. Scales of Justice. A rails run comes for Tom Melbourne. Here comes Blackheart Bart, Material Man, Sovereign Nation threading his way through, and down the outside Variation across the track. Blackheart Bart, Material Man. Great shot keeps coming. Great shot. Blackheart Bart. They hit it tight. Did he? Couldn't pick it. Blackheart Bart. Great shot in a nail biter to the railway. Running on behind them, searching for runners. Mr. Seawolf. Warren goes for home now. Material Man. Gadding gets out. Here's Galaxy Star erupting. However, here's Galaxy Star running through the middle with Gadding in pursuit, but Galaxy Star draws away from them. Pike Magician. Galaxy Star beats Gadding and Material Man. Down on the inside.
A great call by Darren McCauley there. Pike Magician. That's exactly what he was last year, and he'll be looking to do the same again this year, albeit he'll have to do it from a wide gate. There were some big winners and some big losers out of the barrier draw on Tuesday afternoon for this railway. Early in the week, who are you siding towards?
I don't think Regal Power can win from that gate. I just don't think so. So I'm with Samazdat here. I think he was the biggest winner out the barrier draw. He's got 53 kilos here. He was very good with the shades on in his last run. Trialled enormous earlier this week. I think Jared Noski will get down to 53.5. I think he's the one to beat, but it is an open race.
It certainly is. I've been changing my mind every single day, but at this present moment, I'm unanimous with you. I think Samazdat is a massive chance, especially after the low draw at the barrier draw. And Jared Noski getting down to that weight, it would have been a long, long time since Jared's ridden at 53.5. And early in the week, they've said he's doing it pretty comfortably, having started a month ago, which is great news for Jared. What about for the patrons? $50 ticket gets you an entry to win a car.
Yes, so less than $20 for each of the Group 1 days. Get your GA ticket, come to the Masters, all 3 days of them. You go in a draw to win a car. I need a new car, but I'm not eligible because I work for Perth Racing.
I know, I even asked the question yesterday, so can I enter? Because I would too like the beautiful little sports car that we will see on track on Railway Stakes Day. Hope to see you there. It's a big 3 weeks coming your way with the Tab Touch Masters. It all kicks off this week with the Kirin Railway Stakes. Cannot wait. We'll catch you next week for a big review of the Railway Stakes Day.
He makes her bid.